Okay, question one. I think I might go question 131. I'm going to try and go question 131 to 136, but if not, I'll stop. Okay, great, and break it up. So here we have what I was saying earlier on. Hopefully, you're getting this clear difference between fixed price, which is based on this sort of November pricing, and costs or cash or outturn cash as we go along. Sometimes with a fixed price, what you tend to get is organizations sort of not being silly, and when I say being silly, being aware of inflation, and so they will add in, not within the budget itself, maybe in a different row, inflation costs, because they respect the fact that you have November. Yes, that we're using November prices, but if we're using November prices, so for example November 15 prices for an April 16 to March 17 budget, there will be inflation that we can put in. So you get questions that look like this, that say, okay, we've produced this budget right now, and currently it would look like the fixed price budget, but in here we have accounted for inflation. So technically the outturn budget is really the fixed price budget plus inflation. It's just that in a fixed price budget we don't include inflation, but we could include within it. We don't include inflation, but we can include inflation as a separate line and call it, if you like, as contingency, to just sort of accept the fact that things might increase. So really, that's the picture here. So let me go to my spreadsheet and sort of show you what's going on here. So this is what the figures are right now with inflation, if you like. And ultimately what we're trying to do is to find what these figures are without inflation, because this is what the fixed price would look like. And it tells us that without inflation it was 25,000. So you added inflation of 7% and got here. So to find it without inflation, I need to divide it by, I need to take out that 7% out of that. The same thing here. I'm told the inflation is 3%, so I need to take out or suck out that inflation out of that balloon of 133,900, so I get 130,000, and here suck out the inflation of 5%, and that's the inflation. That's the inflation right there. Add that all together, and you get 22,150, which takes us into B. Yes, so that takes us into B, 22,150. So that's how you deal with this. There's another question that shows that we see, but that's how we deal with contingency. Okay, great. So that's question 131. And then here we are, very similar question again. So you can stop and practice this and make sure you're happy with this. Practice this, stop my video, and then make sure you practice it and make sure you can actually work it out. But I'm carrying on, of course. Here we have 132. Pretty much the same idea with inflation, without inflation, suck out the inflation. There you are for each of those, suck out the inflation, and this time you have 4 items, and that's all the inflation, the difference between them, of course, and add that all together, and you get this 57,375, which takes you to A. So the whole idea is pretty much exactly the same thing as I was saying earlier on. These figures here include inflation. These are the outturn basis, and we need to suck that out to get back to the original fixed pricing budget. Okay, great. And that's 132. 133, let's see what's happening here. 133 is a repeat of 129, but with different figures. So again, just highlighting the principle here. Let's just go to the question so you can see. But you're doing this, of course you are. You're pausing the video. You're not just listening to me talk. You must have done the question. So what do we have here? So it says, no, 133 is not that. 133 is a new question. So it says here that this company has a financial year that runs from April to March. Annual pay increases take effect from the 1st of October. So like I said, we're using the fixed price method. The fixed price method looks at what's happening in November, and so what do we have here? Let's go to, and so yeah, we're trying to compare what happens in November and to what the outturn basis would be, as in how we would deal with it if we were including all the forecasts. So let me see what I write, because I make sure. So I write here November 2014. In November 2014, she would have, remember it tells us that the price increase takes place on the 1st of October. So by November 2014, because just be clear here, we're talking about a 15-16 budget, right? So let's just go back to the question. You can see what I'm saying. So we're dealing with this 15-16 budget. So by November 2014, she would have received that pay rise that was recommended, if you like. So the question is, whatever is happening, the information I have here is the budget I'm going to use, is the figure I'm going to use in the 15-16 budget as far as the fixed pricing is concerned. Outturn just takes it further to include any further forecasts for the relevant time period. Right. Okay, great. So, and it says here, at the 1st of April, she's paid an annual salary of $24,000. So, I mean, the pay rise kicks in on the 1st of October. So by the 1st of April, she is receiving that salary of $24,000. That figure was awarded the 1st of October, right? Because we're told that that's why, I mean, that's the pay rise that she gets. So that pay kicked in on the 1st of October 2014. So by now we knew what that was, and so that would have been our fixed price figure, if you like, of $24,000. Then it says that her 2015 pay increase will be 5%. So let me go back here. So for the fixed price, she was earning $24,000. For the outturn method, she's expected to receive a pay rise of 5%, and this pay rise will kick in, if you like, on the 1st of October. This pay rise will kick in on the 1st of October 2015. And the outturn method considers this. It takes this into account right at the beginning of 1st of April. It takes the fact that she's going to be earning 6 months of that pay rise. It puts it in its calculation, takes it into account, if you like, within its budget. So what we have to do is to find the 5% of the 24,000, and we only need 6 months of it because she only starts getting it from the 1st of October 2015. So for the April 2015 to the March 2016 budget, as far as the outturn is concerned, we must consider forecasts. There's a forecast 1st of October saying she's going to get this pay rise. So we start it from here, and we basically multiply that by whatever 5%. If I come back to my spreadsheet over here, we multiply that by 5%, and then that's 1,200, and we find what 6 months worth is, and that's why we have 600 as an answer. So 600 is your answer for this, right? And then I think when I said something was a copy, I think I meant that question 134 was a copy of question 129. So you should be able to sit and practice this again and check to see if you kind of understand what's going on. So here here we are, 134. Again, I keep arguing. What you want to do is, the question is, because here the budget is for the 1st of April 2016 to the 31st of March 2017. So the question I want to be asking is, what is happening at November 2015? Well, we know that the November 2014 prices are these. We know what the new events, we know that they will get the 5%. I'll just sort of come here so you can see it. We know they will get this 5%. By November 2015, what do we know? We know they're going to get the 5% here. We know they're going to get the 7%. We cannot include these as far as the fixed pricing is concerned. But we know this. We know these two things. And so we impute that into our figures. There we are. And then do that top up there and there. And that's your new figure. The outturn method goes one step further. Takes that figure, gives it the 3% as is recommended. Takes the other one and gives it the 4% only for 5 months. You can see we're really clinical with the outturn. It's for the actual months, and we get this, and we find the difference between the two, which is what they're asking you. You have a difference of 6170. So you always have that, and that takes us, if you like, into B. Takes us into B, 6170. Then we have question 135. Yeah, so these kind of become slightly, we've kind of left that area now of the fixed price would come back into your normal outturn arguments, and it's literally following the rules. Read the question again and then watch the video. Make sure you try it out. You literally have these characters here, and we are pretty much trying to prepare their budget and considering their percentages and when they actually get the funds. So it says the salary will come into effect on the 1st of July 2015. So what are we doing? Here we are. So here we are, senior managers, 120, 400,000, 800,000. Here is the increase of 2%, 2%, 3%. This increase is only for 9 months. Only for 9 months. Only for 9 months. So we're only talking, we can only add 9 months because that's when it will increase, if you like. That's when that increase will actually increase. So the budget, therefore, for the full year would be pretty much what we started plus the 9-month increase, because the increase kicks in July. And exactly the same thing, this plus that, as well as this plus this. So I get this 13458, which comes to B as well. Lots of B's, strangely enough. But the key point is that this is just a normal outturn included for the period that it's kicking in, right? And that's 135. And then let's finish off with 136 for this session. And then we finally have 136, which is pretty similar as well, actually. Very similar, but just following it very carefully. So again, stop the tape, make sure you're looking at what's going on. We're looking at a very similar question to the previous ones. Again, what we now have here is this my head librarian, and it says here that he's going to get 35 grand, and his increment, he doesn't get an increment immediately. He gets, it's the assistant librarian who gets the increment of 24,000 plus 450 divided by 12. So you're doing it on a monthly basis. Don't forget, exactly like an earlier question we did. And both librarians will get an increase of 2.5% from the 1st of July. So you can see what I've done there, right? That's what I've done. That's 35,000 times the 2.5% divided by 12 months, and then drag down. And exactly the same thing here. That's the 24,000 plus the increment plus the 2.5%, and then I divide it by 12 and then drag that down. And then I just do the 10% for pensions, if you like, monthly, as you would at work. This is very much how it would work. And add everything together, and you will arrive at 66,621. You can test it. You can test it. And so that brings us, that's kind of a question, yeah, that's a 130 to 136, and we'll carry on with our videos.